The Ring versus the Sparkus post are true off. My just I27M have been with my girlfriend since we were 16. 11 years, that's basically my entire adult life. She was there for every milestone, prom, college, our first crappy apartment where the oven didn't work and the neighbors screamed about custody battles at 3 a.m. I thought she was it. I thought we were forever. I literally bought a ring 2 months ago. Booked a trip to Charleston because she loves old houses and cobblestones and accidental Instagram photos. I asked her mom for her blessing. I had a whole Pinterest board-level proposal planned. And then I found out she was cheating. It started with little things. Guarding her phone like it contained the nuclear codes. Saying she was working late at a social media marketing job. What does that even mean? Dressing nicer. Acting different. So one night, I followed her. Yeah, I know. Not my proudest moment, but I had a gut feeling. And my gut was right. Her car was outside some random apartment complex. I parked across the street and waited like some sad pie with Adele blasting on 20 minutes later, she came out. With him. Tall guy. Patagonia jacket. Smug as hell. They were holding hands. Swinging arms like a damn rom-com. And then they kissed. Not a polite peck. Not oops, lips brushed. No. This was the kind of kiss that makes neighbors close their blinds. Meanwhile, I'm in my Corolla, sobbing into the steering wheel. 11 years, and she blew it all for Mr. Patagonia. I didn't confront her. I just drove home. Drank White Claws. Stared at the ring like it had personally betrayed me. Texted my best friend one word. She's cheating. And now I'm here. Instead of planning a proposal, I'm trauma dumping to Reddit strangers. Because I know how to tell my girlfriend of over a decade that I watched her kiss another man in a parking lot while Adele mocked me in the background. Her posts are true off my chest. I27F cheated on my boyfriend of 11 years. And before anyone jumps straight to trash human comments, hear me out. We've been together since we were 16. Think about that. Every milestone in my adult life, he was there. Every holiday, every birthday, every fight. We basically grew up glued together. And when you grow up inside a relationship like that, sometimes you forget who you are. I started feeling invisible. He was stressed, distracted, always busy. We'd fallen into routine, Netflix, takeout, bed, comfort, but no spark. And I wanted to feel alive again. Then I met Chris. He works at a co-working space my company uses. He's outdoorsy in that cheesy Patagonia way. But he listened. Really listened. We'd talk for hours. He made me feel seen. It started innocent. Just coffee. Just walks. Just friends. Until one night, he kissed me. And I kissed him back. I should have stopped. Should have confessed. But instead, I told myself it was harmless. Just a fling. Just excitement. It didn't mean I didn't love my boyfriend. I do love him. But part of me wanted stability, while another part wanted butterflies. And then, apparently, my boyfriend saw us. But he didn't say anything. Not that night. He just vanished. And when he finally confronted me later, it was like he'd already decided I was the villain in his story. Yes, I messed up. Yes, I hurt him. But does one mistake erase 11 years? Because I don't think it should. Spaghetti and betrayal. His posts are true off my chest. The confrontation didn't happen the way I always imagined it would. In my head, if I ever caught her cheating, I pictured myself storming in, throwing the ring box on the table, and delivering some devastating movie line like, "Turns out forever isn't as long as you think." Then I'd walk away like a legend. Nope. Instead, I blurted it out over a plate of spaghetti. I'd cooked dinner. Because apparently, my toxic trait is making pasta for people who are betraying me. We're sitting there. She's twirling noodles, telling me about TikTok drama. And suddenly, I just say it. "I know you're cheating on me." Fork midair, mouth open. And then she laughed. Laughed, like I just accused her of stealing a candy bar, instead of catching her tongue wrestling with Mr. Patagonia. I told her I saw her at his apartment with him. That's when her face dropped. Deer in headlights, and she muttered, "It's not what you think," which, by the way, is Cheater Bingo's free space. I pressed. She finally admitted it. 3 months. 3 months, while I was ring shopping. While I was planning forever. She was busy with side quests. I snapped, but not in the way I expected. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just laughed. Maniacal, bitter laughter. She started crying, swearing she was confused, scared of marriage, still loved me. Said Chris didn't mean anything. If he didn't mean anything, why did she kiss him like she was auditioning for The Notebook? Then my best friend texted me mid-fight. Bro, dump her. She's trash. She saw it pop up and flipped. Accused me of airing our private business. I told her, sorry for embarrassing you. Next time I'll have Chris sign an NDA. She cried harder. And here's the worst part. I felt bad for her. She cheats, lies, minimizes. And somehow I end up apologizing because she's crying into a napkin. But I couldn't do it anymore. I told her it was over. That I was packing a bag. She begged. Said you can't just throw away 11 years like that. But she already had. So I left. Bag in hand. Tears in my car again. Because apparently my Corolla is the only safe space I have left. Her posts are true off my chest. The confrontation wasn't fair. He blindsided me. No build-up. No gentle conversation. Just, I know you're cheating on me. Like a slap. And yes, I laughed. But not because I thought it was funny. Because I was terrified. Laughter is what I do when I panic. He said he saw me with Chris. That he saw us kiss. My heart stopped. I knew I couldn't deny it. But I also knew I couldn't tell him the whole truth. Because how do you look at the man you've loved since high school and admit you've been living a double life? So I said it wasn't what he thought. Because it wasn't. To him, it looked like betrayal. To me, it was confusion, fear, loneliness. Yes, it was 3 months. But 3 months doesn't erase 11 years. Doesn't erase the love we built. Doesn't erase everything we survived together. I tried to explain. Told him I was scared of marriage. That I felt lost. That I didn't mean to hurt him. Told him Chris didn't matter. That I still loved him. But he just laughed. Not happy laughter. Cruel, bitter laughter. That made me feel smaller than I've ever felt. Then his phone buzzed and I saw a text from his best friend. Dump her. She's trash. And I broke. Not just because of the words, but because he'd already told people before talking to me. He made me a villain in their group chat while I was still sitting across the table. Do you know how humiliating that is? To realize the person you love has already put you on trial and convicted you before you even got to defend yourself. I cried. Of course I did. Because I was losing him. Losing everything. And instead of fighting for us, instead of seeing that I was begging, he walked out, packed a bag and left. Like 11 years meant nothing. Like I was disposable. Everyone says I'm the villain because I cheated. But nobody sees that he gave up on me the second things got hard. That he threw away a decade over one mistake. The fallout his posts are true off my breaking up after 11 years. ISNT, just breaking up with a person. It's breaking up with their entire ecosystem. Her family, her friends, her dog. Yep, even the dog. And it's a goddamn mess. First, her parents. I asked her mom for her blessing when I bought the ring. She cried happy tears, called me the best thing that ever happened to her daughter. 2 weeks later, same woman tells me I'm throwing her daughter's future away. I said, your daughter threw it away when she made out with Chris. Her mom gasped like I'd just spit in church. Turns out, my ex already got ahead of the story. She told them I was paranoid, that I overreacted, and wait for it, that we were on a break. We were not on a break. Unless a break now means 3 months-long tongue Olympics with Chris. Then there's our friends. 11 years means fused friend groups. Cookouts, friendsgivings, vacations. Now, civil war. Half text me saying, she screwed up. You deserve better. The other half are like, maybe you should work it out. Work what out? Unless Chris is her cousin. Spoiler, he's not. There's nothing to work out. And Chris, oh Chris. Of course I stalked him. The man's aggressively average. Posts hiking photos, captioned rise and grind. This is who she risked 11 years for. At least cheat up. Harry Styles, Brad Pitt, hell, even the hot State Farm guy. But Chris, really? Then came the Facebook bomb. She posted a picture of us from prom. Caption: sometimes we forget what really matters. Fighting for us. Hashtag SOULMATES. Hashtag 11 years strong. 11 years strong. Girl, you've been 11 years plus, Chris. My phone blew up. Family tagging me. Aunts congratulating me. My grandma dropping prayer hands. Meanwhile, my best friend commented LOL and got blocked. Icon her friends started subtweeting me. Imagine throwing away a decade over one mistake. One mistake. If I tripped and accidentally fell onto someone's lips for 3 months, she wouldn't call it a mistake. She'd call the cops. Worst part, her little brother texted me, "I can't believe you're abandoning her. I thought you were different." That broke me. I cried in my friend's bathroom, because even a kid thinks I'm the bad guy now. So yeah, her family thinks I'm paranoid. Half our friends think I'm dramatic. Facebook thinks we're still together. And I'm just sitting here with pizza grease on my shirt, trying to explain that not 11 years strong, we 11 years dead in a ditch. Her posts are true off my chest. The fallout has been brutal. And honestly, I don't think it's fair. Yes, I messed up. Yes, I cheated. But everyone's acting like that one mistake defines me. Like 11 years of love, memories, and loyalty mean nothing now. First, his family. I used to be their future His mom called me the daughter she never had. Now, she won't even answer my calls. His dad called me selfish. His sister unfriended me on Facebook. It's like I never existed to them. So I told them the truth, or at least, my truth. That it wasn't an affair. That it was just one kiss. A stupid, impulsive mistake that got blown out of proportion. Because what good would it do to admit it lasted 3 months? They'd crucify me. At least if it's just a kiss, maybe they'll believe it's forgivable. Then the friends. Ugh. Half of them treat me like I murdered someone. The other half are Switzerland, saying they don't want to get involved. A couple actually sided with me after I explained. Said long-term relationships get messy. That sometimes people screw up. Finally, someone gets it. And yes, I posted on Facebook. Sue me. I was desperate. I wanted people to see the truth. That we're not just some fling that ended. We're soulmates. That 11 years doesn't just vanish. Of course, his best friend had to ruin it with his stupid LOL comment. Blocked. Don't need that negativity. People call me manipulative for posting. But what else was I supposed to do? He cut me off completely. Wouldn't talk, wouldn't listen, wouldn't even look at me. Facebook was the only way I had left to remind him, and everyone else, that we were worth fighting for. And you know what? It worked. My friends commented hearts. Old co-workers messaged me, saying we're perfect together. Even my mom shared it. So if the people who know us believe in us, why doesn't he? Cookies, Tinder, and Chaos her post are true off. Everyone keeps telling me to let him go. But how do you let go of 11 years? You don't. You fight. He won't answer my calls. He won't text back. He blocked me on half the apps. So I did what anyone in love would do. I showed up. First, at his friend's apartment. I brought him a box of his stuff and his favorite cookies. I thought it would be this sweet, nostalgic gesture. Instead, he looked at me like I was poison. His friend basically shoved me out the door like I was a stalker. I begged him, told him Chris didn't matter, told him I'd block Chris forever, delete him from my life. I even said we could go to therapy. I was literally on my knees in the hallway. He still said no. Humiliating, yes, but I don't care. I love him more than my pride. Next, I went to his job. Not to cause a scene, not to embarrass him, just to talk, because clearly texting isn't working. I told him selling the ring meant he'd given up on us, that he was making a mistake. And okay, yes, maybe I raised my voice, maybe I cried, but only because he wouldn't even look at me. Then security dragged me out like I was some criminal. Do you know how it feels to be thrown out of the building where the love of your life works, just because you wanted to fix things? I don't care what anyone says. That's not crazy. That's love. I also posted about us again. Another old photo, another heartfelt caption. People need to see we're worth fighting for. People need to remind him. And they did. Hearts, comments, shares. My mom even called me brave. Everyone thinks I'm being manipulative, but they don't understand. If you love someone, you prove it. You don't give up. You don't sit back and let them throw away forever. So yeah, maybe I've been a little much. But when it's love, is there even such a thing? His posts are true up my chest. I thought blocking her would end it. I thought selling the ring would be closure. But nope. She showed up at my friend's apartment. Cookies in hand, crocodile tears ready. Begged me in the hallway, on her knees, promising she'd block Chris and go to therapy. Neighbors probably thought they were watching a live soap opera. Then she came to my job, full meltdown in the lobby, screaming about the ring, crying, saying I was giving up on destiny. Security had to escort her out, while my boss looked at me like I was starring in the Jerry Springer Show, IT Department Edition. And if that wasn't enough, she launched a Facebook PR campaign. Another old couple pic, caption about soulmates. My relatives are congratulating us like we just renewed vows, while I'm sitting on the couch covered in pizza crumbs. Oh, and she brought cookies. Like betrayal cancels out if you add snickerdoodles. Meanwhile, I tried Tinder. Worst mistake ever. First girl I match with knows my ex. Second girl also knows Chris. Third girl opens with, "So you're the guy from Facebook." Yeah, my dating pool is contaminated. Every time I think it's quiet, my phone buzzes with another friend saying, "She's worried about you." Turns out, she's telling people I'm isolating and not eating. Which okay, technically true. But she's spinning it to make me look unstable while she plays the caring ex. I'm not unstable. I'm just sad and sick of her hijacking every corner of my life. So yeah, post-breakup update. Tinder's cursed, Facebook's a nightmare, and my ex keeps showing up like an unpaid intern for chaos. The bar scene his posts are true of my. After weeks of hiding in my friend's apartment, eating pizza like a raccoon, I finally agreed to go out. Just a normal bar night. Beer, darts, laughing without wanting to die inside. It was the first time in weeks I felt almost human again. And then she walked in. Not alone, of course. With Chris, holding hands like prom king and queen of my personal hell. The entire bar went quiet. My friends stiffened like they were ready to brawl. I just stood there gripping my beer like it was a life preserver. She spotted me. And instead of ignoring me, which would have been the sane option, she marched over, left Chris standing there like a confused golden retriever. And she hugged me, in front of everyone, just wrapped her arms around me and whispered, "I miss you." The bar gasped, literally gasped. I shoved her off, said, "Are you kidding me right now?" And she said it, the line that will haunt me forever. "You'll always be the love of my life." Meanwhile, her boyfriend, yes, the dude she left me for, is still standing there 10 feet away. I lost it. Told her she didn't get to hijack my night. Told her she cheated for 3 months. That Chris had a front row seat to her betrayal. And that she was embarrassing herself. The bar laughed. Someone even clapped. She burst into tears, of course, and ran out. Chris stormed after her looking like someone just told him Santa wasn't real. And I just stood there humiliated. My breakup turned into a live episode of Jerry Springer. That was the moment I knew she'd never stop until I drew a hard line. So I blocked her everywhere. Phone, email, Instagram, even LinkedIn. Yes, she once DM'd me on LinkedIn. About us. I can't make this up. But the fallout, brutal. She started telling mutual friends I was unstable. That I wasn't eating. That I needed help. Listen, I'm sad, sure. But unstable. No. Unless crying in my Corolla to Adele counts. In which case, maybe. Her posts are true off my chest. He made me look insane. I saw photos of him out at a bar with friends, laughing like nothing happened. Meanwhile, I was at home losing my mind, feeling like 11 years of my life had just been erased. So yes, I went to the bar. And yes, Chris came with me. He told me I needed to get out, to show people I wasn't broken. He said, "You can't let him control the story." When I walked in and saw him across the room, my heart stopped. It was like the world shrank down to just us. And I couldn't help it. I walked over, hugged him, said, "I miss you." Because I do. Because I always will. The entire bar gasped, and for a moment I thought, maybe this was it. Maybe this was our movie moment, the scene where he realizes we're meant to be. But instead, he shoved me away, looked at me like I was trash, said I'd cheated for 3 months, true, but ouch. Said I was embarrassing myself, also, ouch. People laughed, someone clapped. Do you know how it feels to pour your heart out and be laughed at? To stand there crying while the person you love turns you into a punchline? Chris stormed out. I ran after him, humiliated, but all I could think was, why doesn't anyone see how hard I am fighting? If he'd cheated, and he begged me to forgive him, I would've. I know I would've. Because love isn't about being perfect, it's about fighting. But apparently, my love was too much. Now he's blocked me everywhere. Even LinkedIn. Who does that? So yeah, maybe I've been too much. Maybe I looked crazy. But isn't crazy just another word for passion? The wedding fiasco, her post are true off my chest. Okay, I know everyone's going to call me insane for this, but hear me out. Weddings are about love, about forever, about reminding people what really matters. So when my cousin invited both me and my ex, I thought, maybe this was fate. Maybe it was the universe giving me one last chance to show him. I got dressed up, did my makeup, tried to look like the girl he fell in love with at 16, and when I saw him at the ceremony, God, he looked good. His family glared at me like I was a homewrecker, but whatever. I wasn't there for them. I was there for him. The ceremony ended, the reception started, and then the toasts began. The maid of honor spoke, the best man spoke. Everyone clinked glasses, and before I even realized what I was doing, I was on my feet, microphone in hand. I said, I just want to say something. The room went dead silent, and I poured my heart out. I told everyone, love is complicated, that sometimes people make mistakes, that true love always finds its way back. I said I still loved him, that I always would. Then I looked right at him and said, you'll always be my person. It was raw. It was real. It was everything I'd wanted to say for months, and for a split second, I thought it worked. I thought he'd soften, that maybe he'd remember everything we'd been through. But instead, he grabbed the mic, and he destroyed me. His posts are true off my chest. My cousin's wedding was supposed to be normal. Ceremony, drinks, dancing, a chance to feel like a human again, not the lead in a Lifetime special called Cheating in Charleston. But no. Of course she was invited too. Mutual family, friends, long history, yada yada. I prayed she'd just behave, sit quietly, clap politely, leave me alone. Nope. Halfway through the reception, during the toasts, she stood up, with a microphone. I wanted to die on the spot. She launched into this whole speech about how love is complicated, and sometimes people make mistakes. Said true love always finds its way back. And then she looked right at me and said, I still love you. You'll always be my person. The room went silent. People stared at me like I was about to explode. My cousin looked like he wanted to strangle her with his tie, and I just snapped. I grabbed the mic. I said, you don't get to hijack my cousin's wedding to rewrite history. You cheated for 3 months with Chris, who, by the way, just dumped you. So please, for the love of God, sit down and stop embarrassing yourself. Gasps, laughter. Someone clapped. She dropped the mic, burst into tears, and ran out. Chris, yes, he was there too, hovering like a sad golden retriever, stormed after her. And I stood there, finally done, because that was the breaking point. Not just for her, but for me. I realized then that she wasn't going to stop until I shut it down, that there was no saving her, no fixing this, no going back. So I drew the line, publicly, brutally, finally. 6 months later, his posts are true off my chest. It's been 6 months since the whole fiasco, 6 months since the bar scene, the wedding meltdown, the Facebook campaigns, and for the first time in forever, I can actually breathe. She's gone. For real this time. Moved to another state, according to a mutual friend. Locked down her socials. No more surprise visits. No more cryptic posts. No more screaming in public places. Just silence. And I didn't realize how badly I needed silence until I got it. I've been in therapy. Turns out, When you spend 11 years wrapped up in one person, you kind of forget how to be your own person. My therapist told me I was codependent, that I ignored red flags because I built my entire identity around us. She's right. I didn't know who I was without her. Now I'm figuring it out, slowly, clumsily. I picked up painting, terrible at it. Went hiking, complained the whole way. Took a cooking class. Spaghetti is still a trigger word, but progress. Even tried dating again. A couple disasters, one decent. No rush. For the first time in years, I'm not obsessed with forever, just existing, and I feel free. I still think about her sometimes. Little things trigger it. A song, a street, a stupid smell. For 11 years, she was my best friend, my everything. You don't erase that overnight, but the pain is duller now. Less like a knife, more like a scar. And when I do think of her, I don't feel angry anymore. Just sad. Sad that it ended the way it did. Sad that she turned into someone I didn't recognize. But also relieved, because I'm not trapped in that chaos anymore. So yeah, 6 months later, I'm alive, healing, painting badly, hiking begrudgingly, cooking slowly, and for the first time in a long time, I actually believe there's a future for me that doesn't involve her. And that feels like closure. Her posts are true off my chest. 6 months. That's how long it's been since I lost him. People keep telling me to move on. That time heals. That I'll find someone else. But how do you move on from the only person who ever really knew you? I can't. Yes, I cheated. Yes, I lied. Yes, I humiliated myself at bars, at his job, even at a wedding. But I only did those things because I loved him enough to fight. Because I couldn't just let 11 years die quietly. Chris is gone. My friends are scattered. His family hates me, and him. He's blocked me everywhere, even LinkedIn. But I still believe he loves me. You don't just erase 11 years. You don't just forget prom nights and road trips and late-night crying sessions. You don't just delete a person who was your everything. I know he's out there healing. I know he's painting, hiking, cooking. I stalk through mutuals sometimes, and every time I see him smiling in a picture, it feels like someone's twisting a knife in my chest. Because that smile used to be mine. Do I regret cheating? Yes. Every single day. If I could take it back, I would. But at the same time, part of me doesn't regret Chris. Because if not for Chris, I wouldn't have realized how much I wanted my boyfriend, how much I needed him. Now, it's too late. The last thing I heard was that he sold the ring. The one I never even knew existed. The thought that he was planning forever while I was destroying it. It eats me alive. But here's the truth. I'm still waiting. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe not next year. But someday, he'll remember. He'll remember prom. He'll remember our stupid inside jokes. He'll remember the girl who was his first everything. And when he does, maybe he'll come back. Call me delusional. Call me manipulative. Call me pathetic. But I'll always believe he still loves me. And I'll always be waiting. If you like these stories and videos, make sure to like, comment, and share so we can make some money from ad revenue and continue getting better and better with our publications. We strive to donate a portion of everything we make to charities that make a difference. Let us know if there is someone or thing you want to support. Thank you for staying until the end and enjoying the story.